Every story has an ending. Does our quest to play the top 100 courses in 10 years have a good ending? I'm Nish.
I'm Jim.
We're your hosts, guiding you through this golfing journey. This is the Top 110 Golf Podcast. Episode 12, The Invitational. Maya Angelou once said, "Love recognizes no barriers. It jumps hurdles, leaps fences, penetrates walls to arrive at its final destination, full of hope." I think that aptly sums up the Nish Invitational, don't you, Jim?
Where the bloody hell did you find that?
Oh, I've got no idea.
What were you reading? It was one of these like Christmas bog roll things.
Look, it's the annual golf day organised for my birthday. And don't you think that aptly sums it up? Everyone turns up that day.
Well, they didn't at the start.
Full of hope, you know.
Oh, yeah, well, that's the golf. Full stop, isn't it? Well, for me it is anyway.
I mean, you weren't here last year. Oh, sorry, this year.
This year, no.
It was
I was climbing up a mountain in Morocco.
Yeah,
the highest mountain in Morocco, I should say.
I've heard of excuses, but I mean,
I think it was a pretty good one.
Was it?
I had it booked for ages.
I mean, you are the co-creator of the Nish Invitational, right?
I wouldn't say co-creator. I think original member.
I mean, the first 2 years it was just me and you, but yeah, we have this. We've had this idea, and we always did it. In fact, the first year was the birthplace of the idea, wasn't it? Because
2021 post-COVID.
Yeah, played in Mottram Hall.
Yeah.
Scorching day.
Beautiful day.
Always makes for a good round, doesn't it? And yeah, we finish up the round. It was an early start, wasn't it? I think we teed off at like 8 o'clock or something like that, but I think we were late. They had a bit of drama with that. We were a bit late. And then we finish at lunchtime, and we're sat on the clubhouse balcony. You can see 4 holes coming in and going out and whatever at Mottram Hall, and it was baking hot. Just
yeah.
Sinking beers, eating food, taking in the atmosphere. We're just like, people need to get involved in
Watching that crazy barmaid who was like, "Oh, I'm so busy. I've never been so busy in my life."
And there was only about 3 groups there. It's like, "Oh yeah, you're busy, are you, love? Right, yeah, okay, yeah. Oh God, I forgot about that."
Apologising to everybody for being crap, basically.
I'm terrible at my job. Sorry.
What was your order again?
Yeah. Oh yeah, she kept forgetting the orders, didn't she? But that was it. You know, it was like, we need to do this more often. So we really hammed up the invitations. The first year it was just us two. You know, then the next year we're like, guys, you got to get involved in this, and it was just us two. Then the following year we had 9 people, and that was at
we went back to Mottram, yeah.
Back to Mottram, and then the year after.
That's where I gate crashed that wedding.
Oh yes,
I stayed over, didn't I?
You did. Well played.
And everyone's thinking, yeah, we should have all stayed over. It would have been Chris.
Yeah, and so we thought, oh, 9, no, 9's good. It's gathering momentum. So the following year we played at the Worsley Marriott.
Yeah.
And that was just 3 of us. So Chris had joined by this point.
Yes.
But again, that day, glorious weather, wasn't it?
There was only when the lawyer rang me, my employment lawyer, to tell me that I didn't about my constructive dismissal case. Anyway,
he was constructively dismissed. Just so you all know. But I mean, next year. So I've kind of put the feelers out really early.
Yes, you did, and I can
actually
early. I
got some abuse off you for doing it so early.
Well, no, it wasn't the fact that it was so early. The fact that you were sending invitations out to everybody on my birthday when people hadn't even had an opportunity to wish me happy birthday when they're getting invitations for your birthday, which is May next year.
By 6:05, if people haven't said happy birthday to you, it's their problem.
What, in the morning?
Other business has to be taken care of. You know, these things are important. We need to know what's going on. Yeah.
I've been waiting for one more day.
Sorry about that, mate.
I
did realise. Yeah, I did realise after it had happened. I was like, yeah, probably done it a bit too soon. But I think it was the groups that I put it on as well. There's a couple of groups that I put it on. And you were like, but these are my friends. Like, why are you putting it on a group? Man, they've not even had a chance to say happy birthday to me yet. Well, This might jog their memory. I don't know. Put the feelers out there very early. And this year, or sorry, next year, I should say,
Mhm.
so 2025, we've got 16 players.
Excellent.
Yeah, I mean, 16 players is pushing me into like some kind of Ryder Cup style territory. I mean, this is great news. So I think, well, last year was the first time we called it the Nish Invitational,
Mhm.
fully officially. And I think that's here to stay now, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And if we can get 16 players playing, I'll be ecstatic. And what a thing to do.
Mm.
So yeah, I suppose there's a couple of things I wanted to discuss here. So we've sort of talked about how it's evolved a little bit. It's gone from us
Oh,
saying,
can I just say something about
"Oh,
the very very first time we played? And bearing in mind I'm shit at golf, I got a better score than you.
yeah, I blanked that out." Did you?
Yeah, did.
I
Yeah,
went very high
yeah,
pitched there.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I'll never let you live down that. I
Never
should
let me
say.
live that down. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's been shit ever since, and I
I
can't
can't
even beat
remember that.
100. But
Do you know why I can't remember that? It's because we finished playing golf and then we sat in that clubhouse for about 8 hours, just necking beers. And I remember getting in the cab because I think I'd pre-booked my taxi to go back. No, I hadn't pre-booked it. That was it. So I rang them up. I was like, "Oh, getting picked up for much more." Just me with my golf clubs, and that's it. And this minivan turns up. And the guy's like, "Is it just you, mate?" I'm like, "Yeah." He went, "Oh right, I thought there might be a few more of you." Like, no, that's it. It's just me. I was bladdered in the back of that cab. I was like, I think it must have been 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening. It was still full on daylight, I think, because we obviously my birthday's in May, so it was around about that time of year that we
mm,
played. Yeah.
you weren't on your own.
Did you get in the cab with me?
Yes, because you went back to
Ah,
we went back to
brilliant.
we went back to yours, and you got the barbecue on.
Goodness me, I do not remember any of this.
Yeah, well, ask Emma because she was us two turned up
Was
absolutely
she
pissed
was
as
she
farts.
pretty dismayed?
Just like, oh, oh God, I've got to deal with you two.
Oh yeah, back are you? Oh, I thought you might be staying there all night. Oh, yeah.
No, I think she was glad to have you back. But then she looked at you and thought,
Emma's never glad to have me back.
you,
That's never a.
you can't
That's
look
never
after
a
Aaron because it's too far
yeah.
gone. And you brought your mate with you, who pretty much lived there anyway. But yeah, we cracked the barbie
Good
on. I
times, mate.
carried on
Good
drinking, and then
times.
Emma caught up and she was fine with it after that.
Yeah, I think just a few glasses of wine that sorts you out, doesn't it?
Mm.
I think. But yeah, I mean, at that point we were just like, we just need to do this every year, and it just became a thing.
Mm.
So then obviously we get to last year, and we step it up a notch. So it's a shame you weren't there. You'd have enjoyed it. I got a trophy. I should have had the trophy ready here now, but we had the trophy. Um, it's infamous now, but I'd got Pro V1s with my face stamped to them.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That was part of the prize sort of thing. It was like if you can bring that golf ball back, you get a share of some prize pot or
Mm.
whatever it was. I think we did nearest to the pin on all of the par threes, and we've turfed him off now for this episode. But Chris was on fire with the nearest to the pins. He cleaned up all of them.
Did he?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
He took
that.
all of them. Honestly, just that competitive element straight away, and he was like in. He
Oh
couldn't he
God,
couldn't put, but he got nearest to the pin on all four par threes. It was like, what is going on?
how did
Uh,
Dan take that? He's quite
Dan
competitive.
Dan got the longest drive, so he was happy with that.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
That was it. So
Oh, it's going to be so interesting next year. Paul and Matt are going to be there as well.
yeah, do you know what? I'm really looking forward to certainly Paul being there because I think he could be a real like dark horse in all of this because as we know he's good
Mm.
and he gets on this run of pars.
It's just because I know everybody and how competitive they actually are, even though everyone's friendly on the face of it, and they are because everyone wants to have everyone else to have a good round. Because I mean Neil's not playing obviously.
The only person I'm competitive against.
Yes, but it's like a secret kind of competitiveness that people don't necessarily.
It's always
it's not.
unsaid.
It's not on show particularly, but
Always unsaid.
it's like you just the movement in the eye or a little wry smile or something like that. It's
Yeah,
fascinating actually.
good shot.
That's psychology.
Good shot, mate.
Cunt.
Great shot. Yeah, well played. Yeah.
Yeah, that's everyone says that to me, and I was
Well
like,
played.
you're just being condescending bastards now.
For you.
Yeah, well, it is for me.
Oh wow, that's a great shot.
Oh, you got
for
it on.
you.
You got it more than 50 yards.
Oh,
well,
wow, that's
done.
that's
well
on the
done.
green. Oh well done. Yeah, you must be proud of that. Yeah, great.
Taking me
Yeah,
shots.
I think there's going to be good some good healthy competition this year. I think I've got my my work out with the handicaps. So you weren't involved in the discussion.
No,
So as a part of the whole build up is I'd made a WhatsApp group, and there has to be a WhatsApp group, doesn't there? But this year, even the WhatsApp group's going to take a step up, right? So there's a thing on WhatsApp called a community that you can set up.
Oh yeah,
which means that you can get the announcements, but it's not a group chat.
Okay. Yes, I got one about.
Because you know what happens, right? You set up a group chat and it's just nonsense. So avoid that. As community, it's like announcements for the group only. So the way it started off this year was I did like a whole like, right, this is what we're doing, this is the format we're doing. Let me introduce you to the players. So I'd kind of come up with like poker monikers for everyone.
I did see that.
Yeah, I think I forwarded that on to you.
On to me, yeah.
So everyone had their little profile and there's nothing derogatory. It's all like good natured and it's all like it's picking on something, but it's not picking on it in a negative way. It was just like I think it was the one that jumps out at me was like Lee, and it was like Lee Money Enright. He turns out he single-handedly funded Live, or just whatever it was. It was like it was just that kind of stuff. I think Matt from across the road, Matt's going to be playing again this year, but he's a teacher. I don't know Matt that well because we've only been here for a couple of years. So you can't go all in on him or anything like that. But I was like,
this year though you can.
Oh, I'll do it. I'll nail him this year. And I was like, Matt, the teacher, like, what he doesn't know about the golf swing is not worth knowing, all that kind of stuff. So he sort of messaged back going, oh, that's brilliant, but I don't really know that much about it. I was like, that's a joke, it's fine. So like little profile of everyone, and then it was like, right, now you're playing at this course, and like, I did my little review of the course. I then put all the games in and all that kind of stuff. In fact, I think the only person that got rinsed in their profile was probably Dan, because I said I can't remember what his name was, but I was like, Dan is the only player who's got a specific club for each hole. And it's because he's got this story about Reddish Vale. So it's the 15th at Reddish Vale. It's the one where you're down in the valley and then you tee off and it goes up the hill.
Oh yeah.
And then it dog legs to the left.
Oh god, yeah.
So Dan's got I'm going to say it's like a 4 hybrid. I don't think it is, but like a 4 hybrid or something like that. But he only bought that club to play the tee shot there, because if he hits his driver, it's too big. If he hits anything else, it's too short. So that just stuck in my mind, and I was like, that's the thing I'm going to nail him on. But what's great about Dan is he was just like, I don't have a club for every specific. What are you on about? Like, yeah, I know you don't. It's one club for one, but it's a funny story, right?
Yeah.
So,
I've just embellished it a little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah. I'm taking creative license with it, but he's I love him. I actually adore that man. I think he's a great guy.
He's a great guy.
Properly great guy.
So random, like you moved into a street and he's living there, and he used to be Two's captain at rugby club, which I played in his team. Yeah, we met up at that barbecue. He was like, "What the fuck are you doing?
What are you doing here?" Yeah, that's my mate Nish. That's my neighbour Nish. Oh right, okay, yeah, great. Yeah, so we're destined for good things there, weren't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we did all that, did all the build up and all that kind of stuff, and then, so what we did then was we did teams of 3, but each team had one person in each group, so it was 9 players playing, so it was a group of 3, group of 3, group of 3. So each team, you weren't playing with the other people around you, you were playing against them. basically.
Oh, I didn't realise that.
So that's when this app Squabbit came into it, because then you could keep a live leaderboard. So as long as you had your phone on you could check who was doing what. So the reason I bring the who was doing what up, because like me and Chris had a bit of a funny moment with this. So we got through to I think at Worsley Marriott, weirdly the halfway hut's on the 10th hole, not the 9th hole. So you do 10, and then you go out to where you play a short par three where the tree is, and then back up to where the hotel entrance is, and then back in, past the pub bit.
Oh, well, yeah.
So
Oh,
that's
yeah,
11
yeah.
and 12, and then you go back in and do the rest of the course. But I think we were walking along that path, and I'm like checking the scorecard, and I'm looking at it going, Chris is having a great round here, like properly great round, and he was. So we'd both been out to the range 2 days before, and he was just like, oh my God, this is awful. Like, I'm going to embarrass myself. I'll get to embarrassing yourself in a second, actually, about the day. But I'm walking along, and then Chris's group is coming the other way. So he's walking over to me. I'm looking at Chris's face, just going, he does not look like he's a man who's happy with how well he's doing. Like, what's going on here? I was like, you're playing really well, Chris. And he's like, this is the worst round of golf I've ever played. Yeah, but you're like wiping the floor with everyone. What's going on? So at this point, I'm surrounded by Chris's, by the way. It's Chris's and Emma's in my life, like everyone. So
Yeah, okay.
so Chris G from next door has walked past. Chris O, who's my brother-in-law, Chris
Yeah.
Oliver, he walks up to me. I'm like, what is Chris moaning about? He's scoring really well. What's his problem? And he was like, oh no, he's not playing very well at all. I was like, but I don't get it. Like, he's beating everybody else on Stableford. How is he not playing well? And he's like, he's driving it really long and straight. All of his irons are hitting the green. I was like, right, at what point are you going to tell me he's not playing well? He's like, but his putting is the worst I've ever seen from anybody in the flesh ever.
Well, he's never played with me, so.
What? But he's like, I don't know how you can shank a putt, but he's shanking putts. And it was just like, oh, right. And then then it made sense on the scorecards. We were looking at the par threes, and Chris was like scoring fours on all of the par threes, but he was closest to the pin in the competitions. So he was always hitting the green. He was always closest to the pin, and then he was three putting. So that's what was getting him down.
Right.
So I was just like, oh, okay, right, fine. But having the leaderboard was brilliant to know what was going on and who was contributing points. And again, people were on the group chat going, oh, I think it was huge. Was oh no, I don't know, I've not added a point on for anybody yet. And then suddenly it was like, oh shit, I've got 3 points for the team. And it was great to be able to see it live.
Well, they shouldn't be using their mobile phones on golf courses, just saying. But...
Prestigious golf courses. Actually, I shouldn't really say that because maybe Worsley Marriott won't have us back. But no, I think. Well, no,
is that where it's going to be? Is that?
It's. I think it's likely to be at Shrigley Hall next year. So that's actually a good little segue into next year. So next year we're gonna. Well, there's 16 people. So immediately 8-man team. Like that's a given, right? That's Ryder Cup.
Mm-hmm.
That means we can't just play 18 holes and leave it. Like that's not enough, is it? Surely, because you can't get enough. Well, yeah, I don't know. You can't get enough. I feel like you can't get enough competition going in that. I think you need like a little. Oh, that's what's happened. Now there's something else on it. Now, I appreciate we don't want to go and play 2 rounds. I get that because the day's also a little bit about
the 19th hole.
The 19th hole, yes, very politely put, Jim.
Yeah. My very favourite hole.
And I'm running ideas by here now. I thought maybe it was worth doing something like, because what do we like about the Ryder Cup? There's 2 formats that you don't normally play. So there's 4-ball, better ball, and then you play foursomes. Yeah. Right? The singles, fine, whatever. But those are things that we really, really like doing.
So to split it half and half, 9 holes, foursomes, 4 balls.
Well, I thought maybe a little bit different.
Okay. Tell me.
How about we did a morning of foursomes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 4 ball, better ball. Everyone plays their ball for the full 18.
Yeah.
Better goal score counts, right? And that goes to your team total. And then we break for lunch, or whenever it is, but break for lunch, and then we go out and we just do 9 holes, but we do that as foursomes. So
Yes.
2 balls, it'll be quicker.
Yeah.
So actually, it's not going to be that much exertion. And how often do you get to play that, where you'll tee off and I have to play your tee shot as the second shot, and then you've got to play
with Paul
mine?
because his second shot's always on the money.
Yeah. Paul's going to be hot property, isn't he?
That'll be intriguing, actually, quite interesting.
Because
yeah.
we don't normally do that, and actually we should do that 9 holes pretty quick, so we're not really distracting ourselves from the revelry afterwards, I suppose. But I just thought it's a bit of a different element to it, just add something, new to it all, and
yeah, no, I think
a bit more of a team competition.
As more people get involved, it evolves.
Yeah.
So why not? And I think that'll be really intriguing, very interesting.
So I think that's what I want to do. I'm not going to lie to you. This year, I'm going to go to town on the merch. So we had.
Well, I expect that.
So everyone, we talked about the golf ball.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone also got Nish Invitational branded tees.
Did, yeah.
Everyone also got a Nish Invitational branded divot tool, because you shouldn't be leaving pitch marks on your on the green. That's unacceptable. So now you've got no excuse.
Am I being told off of?
No, not you. No, I'm not looking at you.
I don't get hit onto the green. So.
I am looking at you, but I'm not saying
I'm at fault.
You're guilty of that. And everyone got a ball marker for the putting green.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean that's just the bare minimum this year, or next year.
I'm intrigued to see what's going through your
I think there's
process now. Actually,
there's a lot more now. There's a lot more in my head now. And I think actually it's funny. It's funny. Look, it cost me a little bit to do, but it's such a labour of love, because it was great to give everyone their little pack. Here's your entry into the competition, and they open up the. See, I hadn't told anybody about anything, so it was like, right, you got tees. Oh right, that's great. It's all branded tees. Yeah, great. You got a divot tool. Make sure you repair your pitch marks. You've got a ball marker, and then you've got a ball. And the sort of thing was like, yeah, if you bring that ball back. I mean, nobody did. Which probably then brings me back to the first hole. So we're talking about embarrassing yourself and all this kind of thing. So I do all this setup, and actually Matt said this to me afterwards, because Matt was really nervous. He's quite competitive, Matt, across the way. And he was like, I wasn't sure what's going to happen, what sort of standard everyone was. So I stand over the first tee ball, topped it 5-6 yards, I think. Thought, right, okay, just get the 7-iron out, just advance the ball. Topped it again, 20 yards. Just play a nice, easy 7-iron, it's fine. Do it again, right? Process. Topped it again, 30 yards. And at this point, I turn around and all I can see is everybody on the tee box, the other 6 people ready to tee off. They're like, what is going on? Like, this is ridiculous. And then Matt said afterwards, like, I was worried about playing, but then as soon as that happened, I was like, it's all right. So well done. Thanks for setting us all at ease. Yeah,
absolutely.
Like, thanks, Matt. Yeah. So I didn't get off to the best of starts. I think I got a 10 on the first hole. It's a par 4.
It is a par 4, yeah.
Yeah.
I parred it 2 years ago.
You did?
Then it went downhill from there. But I don't care, because it's the first hole and I parred.
You want to do that on the first hole, don't you?
It's just the first.
I think you did one on the last hole as well, didn't you? On that first time we played Worsley Park.
Oh, when I parred it when cause it was me, Dan Roberts, and Churchy 2 years ago.
Yes. No, that was at Mottram, I think.
Oh, Mottram.
Churchy, yeah. Memory's serving us well now, Jim.
Blame the wine.
Yeah, blame the wine. Yeah, so it was. I think that for me set the tone, and I just basically went good hole, bad hole, good hole, bad hole, good hole, bad hole, and that was it. That was my round done. So I didn't trouble the score as much that week. which I was a bit disappointed about actually because I was really, really hyped up for it. I was ready for a good round of golf. It was just great fun having everybody there, and it's just such a good day, such a good day. And because you know what's coming afterwards, it's like everyone's just gonna have a few beers, bit of bants. We all went round to Rob's for a bit of poker afterwards.
Mm.
Did we
Watch
play?
the boxing.
Yeah, watch the boxing. Yeah, a bit of poker afterwards. So yeah, this year is going to be like pretty special. I think if we're doing 2 teams of 8, probably need to pick captains. I know Chris G's playing, so I think it makes sense to be
You and him?
me and Chris captains,
Absolutely.
which means we have to pick the foursomes lineup for the afternoon. That's where Squabbit comes into it. You see, you look at it and you go, "Who's on form here now? Who do I pair with who? What's a good blend?" So yeah, kind of really looking forward to that. It almost becomes irrelevant that it's done for my birthday, and I'm gutted you missed it last year. Yeah, this year you're in,
Yes, you've
fully
got it.
involved,
You've booked it kind
fully
of 9
signed
months
up.
in advance. So unless
I have booked it a lot of months in advance, actually.
yeah,
But that's how excited I am about it. It's such a great day. It's so good. Like that day that we had like 9 people. Well, obviously last year we had like 9 people there, and it was like the competitive element was really nice actually because it was like I think Lee cleaned up the he played to his handicap. Although that was the bone of contention. It was
always
handicaps.
is.
Handicaps.
I have no idea what one.
I don't know what we're gonna do this year with him then. Because everyone obviously they're all like, oh no, I'm not playing off this because I'm not played for years and whatever. But
Mm.
you put it too high and then it's just scoring too many points. So Paul
When it comes to
probably
foursomes, it doesn't matter.
doesn't matter in foursomes at all, but it does on the 4 ball better
Yeah,
ball.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, actually, no. To be fair, I say that. Yeah, it does because we're doing it off Stableford points rather than. Well, no, hang on. So in the Ryder Cup, they do it off because they're all good.
Mm.
It's just whatever the score is on the
Yeah,
hole.
of course.
But you can't really do that if people are of varying abilities. You need to do it off their net score rather than the gross, unless you do the teams blended in such a way where you've got people of, one good
Ooh,
person. What I don't know. It's tough, isn't it? And I've got
more thought
16.
needed.
Yeah, and I've got 16 people's handicaps to sort out. I feel like I'm gonna be hated either way.
My handicap's golf, so
Handicaps are lost 5 iron. That's what it is. Yeah,
oh, no.
I feel like it's just gonna be. I can't win. Can't win on this one unless you just go right. Everybody doesn't matter what your handicap is. It's just what you score. Well, that's brutal, isn't it? Because if you're playing, let's say for instance, it's.
But for things like closest to the pin and longest drive, it doesn't
Oh
matter.
yeah,
It doesn't matter in the ability really.
No, not at all.
Because your
That's not
handicap's based on
handicap related.
consistency.
Yeah.
So I think that's a moot point in
Well,
many
you could
respects. Because I mean, I can hit the ball long and straight sometimes.
yeah. Well, I mean, longest drive, you could
Big
be on the
guy.
last group and you could see that there's no flag anywhere on the fairway, and you're playing the very last shot. You could just nobble a 7 iron up,
Yeah,
and
I'm
then
not gonna do that.
you're gonna go for it, aren't you?
I'm
Of
gonna go
course,
for it, of course.
yeah.
If you're gonna do it, you're gonna do
So
it
do you get a
properly.
forfeit for that if you just go, oh, he played an iron off the tee? No, not
Yeah,
having
and I
that.
topped it and it went 20 yards,
You-
but because it was on
You've
there,
got
it's
to hit
on
your
there.
driver,
You've
sort
got
of
to hit
thing.
it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Good. I'm glad, Jim. I'm glad you think like me.
Yes, of course. If you're gonna do it,
Just
you're
got
gonna
to
do
do
it
it.
properly.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's going to be. We're going to need probably some adjudication on these handicaps. The difficulty is I'm the one that probably knows everybody's ability really.
Mm.
I don't want to make myself the evil person who's been.
I think you are overthinking it. Really.
I thought you were going to say, I think you are the evil person who's going to
No,
sort
I
out
think
me.
you're overthinking it. At the end of the day, people are going to
Don't know,
play
mate.
and play to their abilities.
There was a lot of chat
Was it?
about handicaps last time. There's a lot of people were complaining about it, saying, "I can't believe you put me at this. I can't believe you put me at that."
Oh, they need to get over themselves then.
Yeah,
They're missing the point.
Well, okay. Unless we do like three bands, like you're good, you're average, and you're shit. And then if you're shit, you play off this. If you're average, you play off this. If you're good, you play off this. And
Yeah.
that's it. It's just even then.
Hmm.
That's the Nish Invitational in a nutshell. Rambling nutshell. Glad you come in this year, Jim.
Next year.
Next year, 2025. June the 21st it is. Should be a nice day. Fingers crossed.
Keeping everything crossed.
Middle of June.
Because normally we play in May. And May's
Yeah,
usually
you
a good
take a
month.
chance. But we've always got lucky with the weather, haven't we?
We have, definitely.
Yeah.
It's always been glorious.
I think it was only the year that we played at Mottram, when we had a few people playing at Mottram, that it was a bit overcast, but it was still dry.
Well, it was fine, yeah.
Yeah. We'll take it, but mid-June, we're on.
Boom.
Yeah, so, in summary, to those coming, you're definitely in for a treat, I think.
Absolutely.
All the merch is going to help. The competition is going to help. Yeah, I'm looking at that maybe four-ball, foursomes combination. I mean, unless we do singles or something on the way out, I don't know. But yeah, but I will add, because, you know, I know a lot of people that I know are going to be listening. It isn't a closed shop at all, because we do have the 16 players already. But that doesn't mean it stops at 16. If you are interested in coming, then just drop us a message, and the description of the show, you can actually text the show. So you don't have to message me directly. If you don't know me and you're an external listener but you want to get involved, you can, and I'll see what I can do. And then lastly, I've got to do little plugs here. So if you are enjoying the content, I have to say, you know, drop us a like, drop us a follow, a review. All of that helps, because, you know, it just kind of gets more people involved in what's going on, and gets the podcast more visible.
I just hope people are enjoying it, because we're enjoying it. And I think our
We're loving
pals are enjoying it, so it's all pretty raw and
It's a great endeavour.
unscripted, and it's just something nice to mark the occasion of what we're trying to do, or what you're trying to do, not me. Just getting pissed, basically.
Yeah, but I feel like you're along on the journey with us, mate.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I think so. And I'd like, you know, I'd like to think that people listening along can just kind of live through it as well at the same time. We're trying to do a bit warts and all, and just say it as it is, and see what's going on, and just we're not trying to polish it up too much, and we're not trying to
as many people say, you
budget.
can't polish a turd.
Yeah, we're not trying to polish it up too much, are we? There's no point in that, you know. And that's that. You know, that's a good diary of it all. So, yeah, I mean, spread the word if you can. I mean, that'd be great. We'd really appreciate that.
It just helps with certain things, you know, in terms of potential courses that might be. I mean, now that Nick Doherty's not going to be around, because
it's going to come up every episode now, isn't it?
Because the restraining order's on its way to you. It's you know, it's just those kind of things, and also, you know, people who are members of different clubs who may hear of this somehow, will invite you to play and introduce you to the course, and actually enhance your experience.
Oh, Jim, it's not come up yet. Oh, it had to come up at some point.
It did.
Yeah, let's talk about how in a work context you say the word enhance, because it's not enhance, is it? In your world at that time, it's enhance. And it's not chance, is it? It's chance. What about circumstance?
Circumstances.
So, yeah. For context, Jim, in his other guys, offers advice to people to look after their money.
Enhance their wealth.
Yeah, and this happened. So I had a review meeting with Jim one day. You know, turn up to his work. You know, and when you're doing stuff like this with your friends, it's hard work, isn't it? Because
not really.
Well, it's not hard work what we do, obviously, but you know, everyone has a professional work voice a little bit, and then your mates turn up, and then you have to, because you're used to doing it a certain way. you just do that a certain way.
You revert to type.
You revert to type. But because you're with a friend, before that, you've not done it at all. So we're like chatting away. 15 minutes of just, ripping each other. And then suddenly, Jim turns into James and he's like, right, got my script here. So anyway, look at the agenda. Yeah, great, okay. So we'll be looking at opportunities to enhance your returns. Sorry, what? Enhance your returns? No, you didn't say enhance though, did you? What did you say? What? You said enhance. Like, we're in the north, mate. We say enhance up here. All right, yeah, okay, fine. And then it changed. Then circumstances came up, and then chances came up. I was like, what is going on here? This is just ridiculous.
This was absolute perfect fodder for him. I tell you.
Yeah. So at this point,
he's in tears.
I'm not bothered about what my money's doing. I'm just bothered about what he's trying to say next. Like, what word is he going to say wrong in a minute? Like,
say wrong.
Yeah. So yeah, in jokes. Anyway, in jokes are the best jokes, aren't they?
Particularly when you have to explain them.
Particularly when you have to explain them, yeah, in a long rambling way, yeah. So anyway, yeah, no, you have massively enhanced this podcast, Jim. Thank you very much.
As well as your finances.
Yeah, if you get the chance to work with Jim in a professional capacity, which
just rip the shit out of me.
If you haven't, I fully endorse it because he's a good guy, knows what he's doing. He's got a great team behind him.
I'm unemployed, by the way. So
Brilliant. Right, thanks, Jim. Thanks for listening to me talk about the Nish Invitational.
I'll forgive you for sending the invitation out on my birthday.
Yeah, I can't believe I did that, actually. It's a bit stupid, really, wasn't it? It's very self-centered. Is that a surprise? No, not in any way, shape, or form.
Your brain works at a million miles an hour.
Yeah.
Until it's kind of like, right, all right, I've said happy birthday to you 3 hours ago.
He's had 9.5 hours of his birthday already. What else does he want?
It was in the morning.
Was it in the morning?
It was in the morning, yeah.
It probably was, wasn't it? Yeah. I
just hold on.
I don't think I want to look at my phone in case it totally confirms that it was really early in the morning. So
it wasn't that early. Like 2 minutes after he sent me a happy birthday message.
Happy birthday, Jim. By the way, does everybody else want to come to? Yeah, this guy's just taking up too much airtime. Forget it.
Yeah.
Forget it. No, great. Thank you very much, Jim.
No,
Thanks
you
for
all.
being the ever dutiful host, as always.
Brought 2 bottles of wine as well, so.
And if you can't tell, we've gone through 2 bottles of wine. Next time on the top 100 entails golf.